This is the Isle of Palms podcast, produced by Island Vibes, the Isle of Palms upscale monthly publication. The Isle of Palms podcast is all about the people, places, and events that make this island a slice of paradise.
Hi, this is Zach Jarrell, your host for the Isle of Palms podcast. The Isle of Palms podcast is all about the people, places, and events that make the Isle of Palms a slice of paradise. Today we welcome Kevin Popson. Kevin is running for re-election to a second term, currently VP of Operations and Division Manager of Projects for Preserve Homes and Neighborhoods, LLC, a land development and home building company.
Thank you, Zach. It's great to be here. I appreciate you letting me come in and spend some time with you.
Absolutely. Pleasure having you on the podcast. What is the main reason or reasons you are seeking re-election to IOP City Council?
Zach, it's pretty much the same reasons why I jumped in 4 years ago. As you mentioned, I'm in the land development home building business, and I felt at the time that I could jump in and kind of help with some of the stuff that was going on with the city. For example, the public safety building needed to be renovated. I'm not a commercial builder, but I'm a residential builder. Felt like I could help. The Marina, new docks at the Marina. I've done hundreds of dock permits, dealt with OCRM, DHEC over all of my developments, and so I felt I could help. So it was jumping in drainage, another issue that is going on with Isle of Palms and will continue. I've done miles of drain lines and ponds and so forth. So I really felt like I could lend a hand with my background. And so pretty much we have the same thing going on now. The drainage continues. We're thinking about redoing our city hall building, and the marina, the public dock that we have, is going to be rebuilt. So felt like I could still help. And then one of the main reasons is I'm huge on property rights, and this short-term rental cap issue is a big issue, and I felt like I needed to jump in and keep fighting the fight for property rights. I'm really not a politician. I don't want to be a politician. Never thought about being a politician, and really never really thought I would be running for city council, and I did, and I won. But I wanted to help. I felt like I had the background with my home building and land development background to help with the issues that we were facing at the time with drainage in the public safety building and the marina. And I just felt like I could help. And the same things we're facing during the second term if I was fortunate enough to win. Definitely not because I want to be a politician, that's for sure.
What priorities would you focus on during your next term of office if reelected?
The issue of the day, the elephant in the room, is the short-term rentals and property rights. Foremost, I'll continue to fight for that, for our residents' property rights. But there's other things, obviously, that's more important or as important, and safety. We got to continue to make sure that our fire department and our police department are well-staffed. And have all the resources to keep us safe. Employee retention, to me, is, I think, going to be a huge thing. We lose police and firemen to other cities, I guess mainly for pay. So I think really we need to focus on what can we do, and how can we keep our employees on the island working with us.
Podcasting has exploded in popularity, especially local podcasts. As of 2022, 62% of Americans have listened to a podcast. 38% have listened in the last month. 26% in the last week. The podcasting audience is booming with no signs of slowing down. Call the podcast hotline to be featured on these podcasts or to receive information about podcast marketing. Call 843-530-0403 or visit carolinapodcasts.com.
And if reelected, what changes would you strive to make in the community?
We always could use change, obviously, but right now, the island is in great shape. We've accomplished a whole lot of items over the last 4 years. Again, the public safety building, the drainage work that we've been doing, the Marina. We have 2 better leases down there with the restaurant and the Marina store. We have a great new fire chief, a great new police chief. Our staff is 1 in a million. Our financial shape is really, really good. Taxes have been kept low. So there's a lot of good things that are going on. So I don't know whether we need to change anything in that relation of just keeping that stuff going and keep the improvements coming. We have more walkways to the beach that we need to do. We need to focus on the waterway bike path, improving that. So I think sort of stay the course, but continue on, with the improvements for our residents.
Now on to the fun question, the ultimate question that will appear on the referendum in the upcoming November election. Shall the city of Isle of Palms limit the investment of short-term rental business licenses to a maximum of 1,600? Yes being in favor of the cap and no being opposed to the cap. Could you state your stance and why?
Oh, it's an easy one for me. No, I'm against any kind of cap. And it's really about property rights to me. I have a hard time understanding how people can think or believe that 9 people on council or a majority of people on council can sit there and tell residents what they can or cannot do with their property. It just boggles my mind that people could think that way. So this is about, it's not just about 1,600. What's the right number? Who knows? But it's about property rights and telling people what they can and cannot do with their properties. So I definitely no.
Well, Kevin, we really appreciate you coming on the podcast today, and it's a pleasure having you sit down with us and of course asking you some of these tough questions that everybody on the island wants to hear about from you, the candidates, and best of luck in the upcoming election.
Well, thanks, Zach. Again, I really appreciate the Island Vibes inviting me. It was great spending time with you, and people out there listening, I would love for your vote.
Thanks for the time.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Island Vibes appreciates you taking the time to listen to or watch the Isle of Palms podcast. Check us out in print and as a podcast. Isle of Vibes is the pride of Isle of Palms today, tomorrow, and always. We love our listeners, and we love IOP.
Thank you for listening or watching the Isle of Palms podcast, produced by Island Vibes, the Isle of Palms upscale monthly publication. Find past and current episodes by visiting isleofpalmspodcast.com.